Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, everybody. Welcome to the Vegan World 2026 Moonshot podcast. And today we are going to be talking about the Charter for Compassion with Susan Soleil of the Charter for Compassion and the Golden Rule Project. And she has this amazing program that she's working on to talk about compassion for animals. So, welcome, Susan. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Yeah, tell us about the Golden Rule Project. Right. And
So, the Golden Rule broadcast or project is actually happening over 22 days. We're calling it the 22-day Compassion Challenge.
okay,
And it will start on March 14th, which is a Monday, and it will end on April 4th, which is the day before International Golden Rule Day on April 5th.
okay. And what is the International Golden Rule Day?
International Golden Rule Day is a day that has been recognized by multiple countries as a day to really honor the Golden Rule, which is in every major faith tradition,
Mhm.
only it's written differently.
Right,
In the Christian, it's do unto others as you would have others do unto you.
right.
Um, in the uh, Jewish Torah, it's written, don't do to others what you don't want done to you. So
Mhm.
each faith has tweaked it a little bit, but
Right,
it really says treat others as you want to be treated is
right.
is the summation. Yeah, it's ancient.
It's ancient, yes, and it's just wisdom that we know is true.
Yeah,
That's what makes our world go around, right?
exactly.
If we treat our others the way we want to be treated.
Yes.
So, what is special about this year? What are we doing this year that's different?
Thank you. So this happens on April 5th. There'll be a broadcast. There are going to be some live discussions. The Charter for Compassion has been doing this in conjunction with partners for 4 or 5 years. Uh,
Mhm.
and this year, we decided to do a number of things leading up to Golden Rule Day, kind of like a neon social media arrow pointing to Golden Rule Day.
Okay,
And we called it the 22-day compassion campaign. And as I said, it starts on April 14th with Golden Ruleism, which is a more modern version of the Golden Rule. And there's a little booklet, and people can go to our website, which is thecharterforcompassion.org.
Mhm.
And the word for is spelled out, it's not a number. So, Charter for Compassion.
Yeah.
And along programs, find the 22-day campaign, and they'll see a whole bunch of boxes that have all the dates and all the different activities that are happening up through April 5th. And then on April 4th, so among all, you'll see all those activities. On April 4th, we're doing a special day called Compassion for All Animals. And it really is a way for us to take the compassion that we feel for ourselves and others and expand that compassion to include all animals, not just the furry friends that live with us,
Mhm.
but literally every animal, every insect, um, the birds, the fish, and the ecosystems and the planet on which we live,
So you're extending the golden rule to all beings.
to all beings. Oh, very succinctly put, Silas. Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That's so beautiful. So, is this the first time the Charter for Compassion is doing something specifically for animals?
Um, I think this is the first time we have dedicated an entire day to
Okay.
animals. We have had different videos and songs and poems and poetry or prayers to honor animals,
Mhm.
and in a variety of Golden Rule celebrations. But I think this is the first time an entire day has been dedicated to
That's so
compassion.
amazing.
Yeah, thank you. I'm really excited.
Yeah, thank you. How did you make that happen, Susan?
Um, well, I'm not sure that I made it happen.
Okay.
But I do know that there is several of the staff have committed to meatless Mondays. They are on that path
Mhm.
to a plant-based diet, a more compassionate diet. Um, and I've been vegan since 2015. So I think the impetus was there. I just had to tip the stone a little bit, and
Right.
it rolled right down the hill. So
Yeah, it rolls down the hill as soon as you tip it. Right?
yeah,
It makes so much sense,
yeah,
especially for the Charter for Compassion and Karen Armstrong, who, I mean, I love her. I love the work that she's done over the years, and
yeah,
it's so. Uh, I feel full, when I see that she's joined.
yeah,
And we have
yeah,
joined.
yeah. Thank you. I think there's a resonance. There's an internal alignment
Hmm.
when those who are really working hard to show compassion to
Hmm.
self, others, and the planet align that desire to make sure they're including animals and eating a plant-based diet, a vegan diet. When that happens, there's a like a hum that happens in that alignment, right?
Right.
And it is a vibration that goes out
Hmm.
into the world.
Right. Right. So, what are you planning for beyond April 5th? How do we continue that? Yeah.
Thank you. There will be little tidbits from April 6th through the 21st
Hmm.
of April, because April 22nd is Earth Day, and it is also a day that we really should be recognizing that how we eat impacts the planet
Hmm.
as much as what we drive, whether or not we have insulation in our roof, like all of those other choices are important. And yet, every time we take a bite of something, we can be making a very powerful choice
Right.
that is either pro planet, pro animals, or is not in support of a healthy, thriving world. So there will be a number of activities still being planned, and I'm hoping at some point I'll have a web page that will have all
Mhm.
of these activities outlined. It's going to be very simple things, whether it's a meditation, a prayer, a special interview.
Mhm.
There'll be a smattering of things that will be focused on a vegan lifestyle, a plant-based diet, and really compassion for all animals.
That's beautiful. And thank you for leading it up to Earth Day and making the connection so clear.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we have um, at Climate Healers, we are doing something called the World Food Healers Day, which
And
is
when is that?
November 19th of 2022,
Okay.
where on that day we want to feed every human being on the planet a healthy plant-based meal.
Wow.
That's the goal.
Love that goal. That's a beautiful goal. That's a beautiful goal.
Yeah, let's eradicate hunger on one day. Us people don't have to wait for anyone. We
No.
can do this ourselves, right? So,
Yeah.
and I would love for the Charter for Compassion to be one of the partners, who would help us make this happen. Yeah.
Wow. I will definitely bring it up to the staff and the board.
Awesome.
And now, if I could make the decision, I'd be a yes, but it's a group decision. So
Right, absolutely. Yeah, I hear you. Because I think I think it was Tom Reagan who said that only when we wake up the sleeping giant of religion will animals really become free.
mm, mm, yeah. Yeah.
So, because I think religion uh, is the way through which we have organized ourselves uh, at the grassroots. So reaches almost 80% of the people, right? Isn't
Right.
that correct? Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So when religious leaders and um, people of faith decide that they're going to end hunger, hunger will end.
Right. Right.
Yeah. So uh, this is to me. the Charter for Compassion was one of the first prizes that TED gave out that stood out in my mind.
Yes, I think that was in 2008. Yes.
2008, yeah.
Mhm.
So that's how it was formed, right? The Charter for
Yes.
Compassion.
Yes. That's how it started. Exactly. I share that the Charter for Compassion started as an idea,
Hmm.
and then it became a document
Hmm.
that was signed, and then with that TED Prize, it became an organization.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, what does the Charter for Compassion do besides the getting signatures on the charter?
The Charter for Compassion really is the mission is to promote and cultivate compassion everywhere. And
Mm-hmm.
and we do that through a variety of ways. We have a network of over 450 cities and
Hmm.
communities that have started compassionate initiatives
Hmm.
um, around the world, I think in 54 countries. And it could be as simple as a kindness bench in
Hmm.
Portsmouth, England. I know in Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas, they've created, those little libraries where people can check out books and they have them throughout neighborhoods. They've created mini food pantries like that so that people can get access food after hours or when the food bank is closed.
Hmm.
So, it's super small ways and really big ways where they're packaging food for children in Dallas, Fort Worth area. I think
Hmm.
they packaged 100,000 meals this last September. So it's the whole gamut, and the local communities, grassroots people, and cities are deciding what it looks like to be a more compassionate city and what initiatives they want to work on
Hmm.
to really ramp up compassion in their particular city. So there's a city component or a communities component. There's also a lot of education.
Hmm.
Compassion is like a muscle, and the more we use it and exercise it, the stronger it becomes. And so we have a variety of educational opportunities on our website for people to learn more about that muscle and exercise and strengthen that muscle.
Hmm.
So that's another component. And then there are a number of programs that are out there. We don't offer them, but we become the super highway of uh, infrastructure highway to get those programs out to communities that
Hmm.
can use and benefit from these programs. One such program is called Think Equal, and
Hmm.
it's to teach um, compassion and social emotional skills to little children from the age of 3 to 6
Hmm.
when their brains are the most malleable. And you
Right.
insert those seeds and they are in there. Like many of us can remember our phone number from when we were 6, right? I mean,
Right.
when you put those skills in those beautiful little brains, they then grow up to be more compassionate people. And so that program called Think Equal, we were able to connect it up with Monterrey, Mexico. And now 22,000 little children are learning social emotional skills around kindness, peace building, and
Hmm.
compassion.
This is something that I feel should be part of every elementary school education.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. It really should be literally around the world in every
Mm.
single preschool, every single kindergarten. And then there are other programs that take off from age 6 to 18. There are several programs out there that teach that in schools, and it should be taught more. And then we have other programs that teach adults how to
Mm.
strengthen that compassion muscle. So, yeah, it's lifelong learning, isn't it?
Right. It's lifelong learning. And I think bringing the animals into it is so critical. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's pretty easy for children to get it, but for adults to unlearn what we have learned, right?
Yes.
Hard.
Yes. There's definitely a level of unlearning that has to take place for us.
Right. Yeah. So, is there an initiative within the Charter for Compassion to reach out to schools?
So we do have compassionate schools around
Mm-hmm.
the world,
Mm-hmm.
and again, we're trying to connect them with each other because they learn best from each other. So
Right.
that's just another. The list of the different things that the charter does is very long, and
Mm-hmm.
for those who go to the webpage, you'll see that people can go to the webpage. They can affirm the charter. They can
Mm-hmm.
actually sign the document that has been signed by millions. They can get on our newsletter list. They can see all sorts of stuff that we do, and down at the bottom is a search bar where they can search for a variety of topics. And we also have a number of languages, and they can uh, put whatever language in there they want to see the website in, and then it will pop up in the language of their choice.
Wonderful. You say millions have signed the charter already?
Yes, yes. In the how many years has it been? 14 years?
Right.
13 years since the document was first unveiled at the United Nations. It's been signed by millions. We
Millions.
we haven't collected all of that, right? Sometimes it happens in a city and they put the charter up on a big wall and everybody signs it, right?
Mm.
And there could
Uh-huh.
be 300 to 3,000 signatures, but there's no email address, there's no phone number.
Right.
Like
Right.
it's been signed, but it has truly been signed by millions and millions of people.
Yeah. So, but what kind of reach do you have now through the Charter for Compassion
The chart for
online
so
program?
so we have those 450 compassionate communities. We
Mhm.
have a Facebook page that goes anywhere from I don't know 100 and 250 to a couple million, depending on whatever post we put out there
Mhm.
is seen. We have Instagram, TikTok, LinkedIn. What are all those other social media?
Right. Right. Right.
Yes, so we have a number of those. YouTube, we have a very vibrant YouTube channel. If anyone wants
Mm.
to go and look up our Charter for Compassion and see all the videos. We also do a number of global reads where we invite a world renowned author to come
Mhm.
and speak every month. And not only do we host them and then put them on the website, and they're on YouTube, that then often they go out via YouTube, or excuse me, via Facebook as well. So,
Right. Right. So it's about spreading the word of compassion throughout the world as much as
yeah,
yeah.
yeah. Compassion is that stone that, when dropped into the steel pond, it just ripples out. So, when people ask us about our impact, it's nearly immeasurable, right?
Mhm.
Because those ripples beget other ripples that create other ripples.
Right.
And so really all we can focus on are those first initial ripples.
Yeah. And it is so it is so important right now at this critical moment in human history
Oh,
to grow that muscle as quickly as possible.
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
We need those ripples to become tsunami waves.
Right.
That
Tsunami waves. Yes.
yeah.
Exactly as you say. And include expand our circle of compassion to include all beings, as
Yes.
Einstein said so beautifully.
Yes. 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 And again, that's when we become in alignment. Our core is
Mhm.
aligned with our desire to practice compassion, is when we extend that to all beings, the plants, the fly that you escort out the door instead of killing it in your house, right?
Right. Hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, it's an interesting phase that we are in, where we have to learn this quickly and therefore begin to contribute more to the planet than we are taking from the planet.
Yeah.
But,
Yeah. Indigenous peoples, they know this. They've known this for thousands of years. We are unlearning our kind of Western uh, ideology and learning new ideas. There's a beautiful quote that says, "All is really one."
mhm.
And if we live that way, when we live that way, it makes our choices pretty plain.
Right. Yeah. and then our impact on the planet becomes positive as opposed to negative,
Exactly. Exactly.
and we can all thrive on this planet.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. All of us
All of us can thrive.
together. Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, thank you so much, for this. And sorry we had to cut it short, but we had a.
That-
but
yeah.
but is there anything else you wanted to tell people
Um,
about this event?
you know, I guess I would just encourage everyone to find ways in their own community every day to practice compassion,
Hmm.
because compassion isn't owned by any organization, right? All we are is a conduit of the message of compassion. We can find ways to show compassion within our families, within our communities, just total strangers. And when we do that, that ripple continues again. And so I would just encourage everyone to find ways to do that. Be compassionate for self, others, animals, and the planet. And when we can make our circle of compassion that big,
Hmm.
we will see amazing changes.
Amazing changes within ourselves and our environment.
Yes, yes.
Thank you, Susan.
Thank you so much for inviting me. I'm so honored to be here.
Yeah, we'll put more details. More details will be on the Chart of a Compassion website as you finalize it.
Yes.
Okay, so
All
I'll
right.
put the link to that on the comments.
Thank
And
you so much.
thank you very much for being here.
It was my honor. It was my honor.